About 6 months ago, my husband and I moved into this basement apartment, and I have spent quite a lot of time over those 6 months cultivating this room into my sewing room. And I'm very excited to finally be able to give you guys a tour of this room and show you all how it came together. So when we first moved in, this room was kind of a catch-all space for everything that didn't have a home yet. It took about a month before it was cleared out enough for me to work in. The first thing I did was buy myself a desk to work at and placed it in the command position. Thank you, dear Modern. I also thrifted a dresser to use for storage, but it needed a lot of cleaning up, including new drawer lining and replacing drawer slides. Also, it smells a little funky, so I still have lavender packets in there. With the bare minimum functional changes out of the way, I could focus on aesthetic changes to the room. I felt like something had to be done to the large blank wall behind my desk. It was just too large of an unbroken expanse. I considered wallpaper, but ultimately I went with paint. Wallpaper was just way too expensive, and I didn't want to have to deal with the hassle of installing it. Plus, I was able to use some paint we already had in the garage for free. Okay, time for a quick update. As you saw, I did add an accent wall, and I painted it all this deep green. It's not my first color choice, but we did already have the paint on hand. And I like free, so free accent wall basically. Just 4 hours of work was the cost. So I think it looks pretty nice. And then I did also pick up this mirror on Facebook Marketplace. It really needed some finagling because when I purchased this mirror, it was leaning all the way to one side because the holes at the bottom were not correct. The manufacturer screwed up, so I had to add a couple holes over here so that it would line up correctly. Over here, I do just have a couple curtain panels up temporarily. I don't think I'm going to stick with these. For one, because I only have one set, and I couldn't find for the life of me another set like those online. I searched and searched and searched. 96-inch faux suede moss green curtains do not exist, apparently. And then also, the rug that I bought is finally here, so let's put that in. I bought my rug from Ruggable, and to be perfectly honest, I don't know that it was worth the high price tag. I just couldn't get this particular rug design out of my head, and I kept thinking about how pretty it would look in this room, which it does, but I'm not a fan of the way it feels under bare feet. The low pile rug has an almost squeaky, plasticky feel that I really dislike. I almost returned it, but then I figured I'm usually always wearing socks, so I won't really feel it under my feet, and I had already recycled the box it was shipped in. The returns process for Ruggable is neither simple nor convenient, by the way. So there's my mini review that no one asked for. I don't think I would buy from them again, but ultimately I do think the rug is beautiful, so I can live with it. The gallery wall has gone through several iterations. I've thrifted more picture frames over the last 6 months than I care to admit, trying to find just the right size for various pictures and postcards that I have. This first gallery wall was mostly wooden frames and a smaller footprint, but I later added in more gold frames and expanded the overall footprint. The curtains have been their own silly trial and tribulation. After giving up on finding another set of olive green suede curtains, I spent a couple months trying to find burgundy curtains that weren't actually Barney purple or borderline magenta in person. I finally found this set in the color Merlot, but they were only available in a size longer than I needed. After waiting a month for the right length to restock, which it didn't, I just ordered the longer length and hemmed the curtains myself. This is a sewing room after all. I used some of the excess fabric to create draft blockers for the windows, stuffed with shredded scrap fabric. No, get out of here. On the wall above my desk, I ended up adding 3 little shelves that I made with some scrap 2x4s that we had in the garage. I didn't even have to cut them. They were already the exact length that I needed. How serendipitous is that? So, a few things I've added since I put up the decorative shelves above the desk. Firstly, this little checkerboard rug that I picked up at Walmart. This was kind of an impulse purchase, but I just got tired of hearing the clip-clop sound under my shoes whenever I film a video over here. And I kind of like adding this bold geometric element when everything else is like really muted, darker colors. I also got this dress form as a Christmas present, which was really great. That's something that I have wanted forever, but just kept putting off buying for myself. And then I finally just bought myself a stupid desk chair. I was checking thrift stores and marketplace for like over 3 months, and I just couldn't find anything that I liked that was a reasonable price, and a lot of things were just really busted. Like, basically nothing was the size, the shape, the specs that I wanted. So it just ended up being more cost efficient to just buy exactly what I wanted from Amazon. And I did redo my gallery wall. So where that leaves me now is just a handful of little tweaks and final touches that I want to add. After adding those final touches, I think I'm ready to show you guys. All right, who's ready for the tour? I could not decide what to wear for this video, but I felt like I should wear something that I made since it is a sewing room tour, hence the skirt. So I guess I'll just start the tour with this wall that you all have seen before in previous videos. This is where I film most of my videos. I have intentionally kept the wall back here more or less blank, and then when I'm not using this to film against as a backdrop, I just have a little metal clothing rack on wheels, which I decided to buy just so that I could hang current projects on it. I can also set up clothing and outfits for future videos or things that I'm currently working on. I am kind of tempted to add something back here. I don't know. That's a question for you guys who watch any outfit videos here. Do you prefer a blank backdrop? Is that less distracting, or do you think it would be fun to have more stuff in the background? Honestly, I'm kind of open to either. And continuing our way around the room, moving to the right, this wall is where most of my storage is. And here is where I keep most of my costumes and my fabric stash. It's a little chaotic in there, but like organized chaos. Like, I know where everything is and why everything is where it is. This dresser, which I thrifted for $40, is where I keep a lot of my craft supplies currently. I think I do want to replace this down the road with something that's just a cabinet with doors, because even though I like how this looks, I think it looks really nice, it's really not the most functional storage. The drawers are very clunky and weird sizes, but it's good for now. For the time being, I have my full-length mirror between the windows. I'm not sure if it'll stay there, but that makes the most sense for now. And then over on the windowsills, I have just some decorative books, my paintbrushes. This corner is my primary workspace with my desk, not including all of the times that I engage in floor troll behavior down here on the open space, but this is where I get most of my work done. Is my microphone gonna reach far enough is the question. Yeah, okay. And it took me a long time to decide what I wanted to do with this wall here. I ultimately ended up making 3 little shelves, mostly for knickknacks. I do have a couple storage items up here, but I just wanted a place to put some of my little knickknacks and things that wasn't on a work surface. Like, I want them displayed, but I don't want them in the way. And then I also decided to give a pegboard a try, and so far that's working out pretty good to have my sharp items readily on hand when I'm working on a project rather than digging around in a drawer or something. This is also storage. And then, as you may have seen, my lovely, so ugly it's cute cow print chair. Yeah, so here's my cute little workspace. You've already seen this gallery wall behind me. It's gone through a couple different iterations because I'm a fickle pickle, but I really like where it's at right now. So a few of these images are just from a poster pack I bought on Amazon, like especially for the round ones. I couldn't find anything at the thrift store in this shape or size that I liked to fill these, but most of them are collected from my own life. And then the last corner of this room is again mostly storage. So let me just move Buffy out of the way. Sorry, ma'am. Excuse me, pardon me. The dress form is another item that's easily movable if I need it to be, but for now it kind of just lives over in this corner. Otherwise, I have this bookshelf. My poor neglected guitar lives back here. I'm sorry, I don't have time for you right now. In this nook, I have hanging up a poster that I got from a friend in college. I really like the print. My husband's not a big fan. I think he's kind of like, why is she naked sitting in a field? And I'm like, what don't you understand? It's aspirational. Aspirational. So I figured this is a good spot for it where I can see it. Anyone walking into the room isn't going to immediately notice it because it's tucked behind the wall, but I just think it looks really nice in this spot. And then for the time being, this chair is kind of just a stand-in. I would like to get just a comfy little armchair over here. I've been scouring Marketplace and searching all the thrift stores and just not finding anything. And then this I decided to swap in instead of the large cedar waxwing print that I had here before. It was just too large for this wall. This tray I thrifted originally to give to my husband, thinking he could use it for his 3D printed miniatures, but he didn't really seem that interested. So I was like, well, then I'll just use it as another curio cabinet for myself. So it's mostly storage. Eventually I would like to have a comfy chair here, so that way if I have a lot of seam picking to do or just want to chill out and watch TV in here, that'll be a comfy spot to do that. I moved that chair again because I'm indecisive. So that is my sewing room. It's been so much fun to have a space to decorate just completely the way that I want and not have to worry about anyone else's preferences or opinions. But I'm just so grateful to finally have my own workspace, and I really enjoy being in here. I really enjoy the way that this feels. If you enjoyed this look behind the scenes and want more content like this, I do have a second vlog channel where I share just a little bit more of what the rest of the apartment looks like and what I get up to in the woods and in the garden and all that fun stuff. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, leave a bird emoji down in the comments because I put a bird feeder outside this window and I'm very distracted by the birds. I love them so much, but they're so distracting. Thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me today. Subscribe if you want to hang out again sometime. See you next time. Bye. Oh no, it's giving horse girl, isn't it? I mean, in another life, I probably was.